I beg to move that the House has considered the potential merits of an innovation centre for energy transition in Peterborough. It's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship, Sir George. And once again, I have the pleasure of making the case this morning for my super city of Peterborough, my city. In February, I hosted a reception in Parliament. It was the launch of a business case to develop a facility in Peterborough researching and developing hydrogen technologies. I want to attract high-skilled, high-wage jobs to my growing city. This was a key promise I made to the people of Peterborough. This is an excellent opportunity to achieve this. It would bring globally competitive research and development technologies to the UK. I want to see the UK as a green, low-carbon economy. We've made enormous strides in this regard since 2010, something we should be proud about. Technology is the way to continue this drive towards net zero and make the UK competitive over the coming decades, not punitive measures that would make working people colder and poorer, but technology and investment in technology. We must drive productive growth in new industries and technologies. Now, Sir George, partners in Peterborough, including the City Council, Anglia Ruskin University, TWI and key businesses, are developing their case for a high-growth energy cluster at the new university campus on Peterborough's embankment. This is the culmination of a 10-year plan to transform the local economy. It will platform technology-focused foreign direct investment in the UK to drive growth in the green economy and address some of the most challenging obstacles in the international community's transition to new energies.
Will they own it away?
Of course.
First of all, congratulate him on this and support him in his efforts to increase the potential of Peterborough. Does he agree that if we're ever to come close to a net zero target, investments are needed on a large scale? With that, I support what he's saying and also agree with his view that university research corralling the best and brightest minds is essential. Does the honourable member envisage that this will draw and include university students from across all of the United Kingdom, and this will lead to a UK-wide centre for UK and global benefit?
Well, the honourable member must have had a sneak glance of my speech, because that's exactly what I'm going to say in my remarks, and I thank him for his intervention. This is all whilst trying to create a new, highly skilled and highly paid job opportunities in Peterborough. The ambition is to create a new research institute called the Global Innovation Centre for Energy Transition, through which to attract large global energy production companies. These include Shell, BP, ADNOC and a consortium of domestic industrial high-energy users. Foundation industries such as steel, glass and concrete producers will develop the new technologies needed for the safe transmission, distribution and use of hydrogen into industrial and domestic applications. The ecosystem created will also focus on related technologies for the storage of hydrogen and CO2, as well as the production of sustainable aviation fuels. Global energy and technology companies are ready to partner with the UK government to invest in the establishment of the centre and fund a 10-year programme of R&D worth £150 million. These firms will pool resources, knowledge and investment at sufficient scale, as well as scientific expertise to generate the enabling technologies to produce new products and systems that will allow this new market to form and grow. Excitingly, the R&D programme will create opportunities for local businesses and supply chains to link in the Research Institute's global network, attracting R&D investment into the east of England from large, knowledge-intensive businesses in Europe, the US and the Gulf states. This in turn will increase demand for high-level or higher-level skills, improving access to better quality jobs by increasing aspirations and wages for local residents. This is important to the UK and is important to Peterborough. Now, firstly, there's the obvious case for transitioning towards more sustainable, greener energy sources, of which hydrogen can form an important part of our future energy mix in the UK. The UK's natural gas network is currently unsuitable for the transportation of hydrogen, which can permeate and cause failure in steel pipes, a phenomenon known as hydrogen embrittlement. New transmission networks will need to be developed to form new materials. These include protective inner coatings or non-metallic network materials to safely store, transport and distribute hydrogen. The UK government plans to assemble sufficient evidence by September 2024 to enable a decision to be made in 2025 on whether to upgrade the national grid distribution network. The Global Innovation Centre for Energy Transition can be operational in 2026 and ready to develop the solutions to enable this transformation. Additionally, many of the foundation's industries process equipment for the production of glass, steel and concrete, whilst having shown the ability to use hydrogen cost-effectively in pilot trials, is at risk of component failure and possibly presenting serious safety risk. Significant research is needed to develop safe materials, equipment and operating procedures to allow the transition of these industrial processes from natural gas to hydrogen. There are no other plans in the UK to attract research and development activity in this emerging sector. Global firms are looking at addressing specific aspects of the broader challenge. These disparate efforts will create a patchwork of solutions by attracting a critical mass of the key players. To integrate their R&D programmes in the UK, there is the opportunity to lock these firms into a joint endeavour for decades to come. And this in turn provides the UK with the opportunity to find ways of convening its science base as a partnership with, for instance, the Royce Institute and High Value Manufacturing Catapult to create a solutions network bespoke to the challenges around the transmission, the storage and the use of hydrogen and CO2. In a stepwise manner, we can use the opportunity to integrate R&D in the UK, expanding the network of UK institutes that can create an anchoring effect, which makes it difficult for these energy companies to disengage and disintegrate their R&D efforts in this specific field. And this ultimately benefits, the ultimate benefit of this is attracting and integrating these global R&D efforts. It's the opportunity to link intellectual property into UK supply chains for a myriad of technical applications, including design, manufacturing and services. Now, the second reason for developing this technology and why it should be done in Peterborough relates to the opportunity to develop a high-value industry that can provide opportunities for high-skilled workers and help level up the regional economy. Peterborough is a place where its business structure has transitioned over the last few decades from industries based in engineering and manufacturing to lower value services in retail, wholesale, transport and storage, accommodation and food services. Employment has remained relatively high, but wages are on average 9% lower than the national average. It was on a trend towards that classic low-wage, low-skill equilibrium. However, in recent years, Peterborough has emerged as an increasingly innovative economy and is now among the 15 cities with the highest number of business startups and patents in the UK. The move towards more knowledge-intensive industries can also be observed when looking at the makeup of its industrial structure, with 5 high-performing business sectors, including advanced engineering and manufacturing, agri-tech, food and drink, digital and creative, and energy and environment and financial services. Making further progress is not without its challenges. Peterborough has for a long time been an education cold spot, with low levels of participation in higher education and low skill levels amongst the working age population that has limited wage and productivity growth, 6% below the national average. Skill levels at level 4 and above are lower than the wider region, but are now improving quickly. We are turning a corner. The new universities helped turn this around and will further accelerate this trend, providing the necessary skill base for existing firms and new science and tech businesses that can be attracted into the city by a new research centre. As mentioned, there are signs that the industry formation is improving, with new startups in knowledge-intensive industries, but the local ecosystem is fragmented and lacks strong links to higher education and research institutions. The proposed R&D facility will provide the demand-side driver for innovation and for growth. It will accelerate the positive progress we are making with recent investment and levelling up projects in our city. The future for Peterborough will benefit from a new rail upgrade that's faster links into London and across the east of England to Cambridge and other neighbouring cities and towns. And the development of the city centre around the new station quarter will provide new, affordable, Grade A commercial premises that will help attract new businesses into Peterborough. The regeneration of the station quarter, combined with an R&D facility for green energy at the university campus, will mean better linkages to London and to Cambridge, enabling greater spill-out effects. The immediate benefits of a new research facility and R&D programme stem from the rapidly establishing an innovative ecosystem which generates increasing demand for high-skilled workers in Peterborough and the Fens. These include the creation of 100 R&D direct jobs and 200 indirect jobs in related STEM activity. The R&D programme will also create 500 indirect and induced jobs through the participation of 150 local firms in global supply chains, as well as new business startups and spin-outs. There will be a substantial positive economic impact on Peterborough City and surrounding region, such that investment in the R&D programme will generate a positive effect on new opportunities for graduate-level employment, encouraging both participation in higher education and, more importantly, in the local retention of graduates. Because as we become a more skilled working city, it is important to retain our graduates, and this R&D centre will allow us to do just this. However, the wider benefits will accrue to the UK as a whole. The global market for these new technologies is huge, and the forecast value for global hydrogen transmission and distribution pipe networks has been estimated to be at 427 billion by 2050. By anchoring the underpinning knowledge for these solutions into the UK via the Global Innovation Centre, we significantly increase the chances for British firms, those regionally around Peterborough and those connected through hubs in Middlesbrough and Port Talbot, to be integrated into future supply chains. Having the technology developed here also gives the UK first mover advantage for the global rollout of new technologies. The proposal to build a new research institute on the university campus in Peterborough presents a huge opportunity for the regional and the national economy. To achieve this, we need to be building on existing expertise and import key elements of the greater Cambridge innovation ecosystem into Peterborough, creating inherent connectivity between the two cities, which will help rebalance growth across the region. But we will also need to encourage more residents into higher education, enabling access to higher value jobs. Currently, the proportion of the working age population with high-level qualifications at level 4 and above, 36.3%, is below the regional 39.6% and the national average, which is 43.6%. However, this position is also improving, and the gap has narrowed by more than half since 2018. If Peterborough matched the national average for skills, an extra 9,130 people would have an NVQ level 4 qualification or above. The establishment of the new university in Peterborough has provided an essential component for innovation, for an innovation ecosystem, investing in human capital to improve highest level skills to meet local economic needs, as well as providing vital interactions between businesses and higher education. A new research institute is now needed to build on these developments, to raise demands for higher skilled jobs in the local economy, by attracting global firms and connecting research and industry via a bespoke facility, and an R&D programme that can translate research into practice in the local economy. This will provide a strong future energy sector focus to what is currently a fragmented innovation ecosystem and harness regional, national and global opportunities in this emerging sector. The proposals for a global innovation centre for energy transition at Peterborough have the potential to leverage significant economic benefits for Peterborough and the whole UK. The investment proposals are expected to generate approximately 160 million of private sector investment over 10 years from 2025. This is against a public investment of 30 million. The benefits would provide a benefit case cost ratio of 3.3, which represents exceptionally good value for money. We need an urgent meeting with ministers to realise this opportunity for the UK and for my city. It involves several departments: trade, energy and levelling up. I hope the minister today can say that she's willing to take part in this effort, help me convene such a meeting and get this project moving. I am proud of the progress we are making in Peterborough. As I stated earlier in my remarks...
Can I just gently remind the honourable gentleman that he does need to leave time for the Minister to respond?
I'm on my final sentence, George, I promise. As I stated earlier in my remarks, a promise I made to my constituents was to create a higher skilled, higher wage economy. This is part of my vision for Peterborough, and we're making great tracks in achieving this. And this innovation centre is part of this and will only accelerate the fantastic progress we are already making.